Welcome back to Mulberry Branch, y'all. I told you we'd be getting into the bees soon, so we've actually got our extra 8-frame super here. We're gonna check out our latest hive that we installed, the one that we had actually prepaid for before we got the swarm. So we're just gonna go down there and see how they're doing. This morning it was raining kind of on and off. The sun's out right now, it's beautiful, it's warm, but they were a little feisty this morning. Poor Mark sustained a bee sting to the eye, but luckily we got enough cold compresses and Zyrtec in him that he didn't really have anything going on with him. But you can see over there he's getting our smoker ready so that we can just make sure that in case they are feisty, we can just give them a quick smoke. I want to lay eyes on the queen, and honestly, the main reason we're doing a hive inspection this close into installing them is we just want to make sure. I actually want to look at those empty frames that we installed on the outside to see if they started to work on them. And if not, I'll move those in closer to the center. They like to make their comb more in the center of their hives, and usually the ones on the outside are the last ones to be filled. So if we do the old switcheroo with some of those, then hopefully they'll start to fill those up and the queen will want to lay brood in them. That's the second reason I want to get in, besides checking and moving around frames, is I want to see if there's brood. I want to see if there's cat brood, if she's got drone brood in there. I know they've been coming in and out with a lot of pollen, so I want to see if they've got any bee bread started in there. Just all of the above, guys. We just want to go and check the general health of our hive. So here we go.
Pop her open. Here you go, babe. Get your eyes ready. Wow, look him up top already. Little motley crew. Yeah, look at that patty. That's more than our previous hive.
You see all these? Can you zoom in on this? All of these right here, guys, you see how they're bubbled out? Those are that's drone brood. When they're domed up like that, that means that they're drones that have been laid.
That's not good.
Well, I mean, as long as we find workers brood too, we're okay. I don't really want to take from right there, do I? Look at all that comb, guys. Nice new white comb.
Probably means it's fresh. So make sure they're always asleep.
Sleeping, yes.
Yep, make sure they go to bed. You can see them move slow.
There's a drone in here. You see lots of drones in here, guys. You do not see the queen. As you guys can see in here, you see all the color inside the comb. That's actually pollen.
You can see it
So
over
that
here.
they're making bee bread to feed brood when they hatch. There's all kinds of different, that's what that is in there. That's all pollen.
So you always want to be careful on a bee farm. You don't want to kill anybody, because then they'll make a scent that will actually...
Look at that in there.
That's brood. So you guys see all the capped? That's all brood. Those are worker brood. This all over here is drone brood. That's a lot of drone brood. Well, we still have workers. That much drone brood kind of worries me a little bit.
Do you see any queen?
No. Don't see her. And usually they'll be gathered around her, kind of moving out of her way. And she'll have a black shield on her back. Whereas everybody else's backs are kind of fuzzy, she's got a black shield.
Look on the other side.
When you twist your frames, you do it slowly because you don't really want to jostle them. And we got a lot of drone brood, guys. There she is. She's right there. That's
Yep.
the queen. See her right there with the black shield? There's our queen.
Yep.
Where's she?
Right here.
She's right there.
Here.
She's got the longer butt and the black shield.
It's down right in there.
Mm-hmm. That's our queen.
See how big she is?
And she's already got quite a bit of brood in here.
Yep, she has a
There's
huge-
honey on the ends. You guys can actually see like right through here. Where my thumb's at, Joe? Right over here.
here.
Over here,
kiddo.
Joe.
See the honey?
See the honey? If I kind of move it back and forth, you'll see that there's honey in there. It's not capped yet, but it's honey.
All right, let's put her back in there.
All right, we got eyes on the queen.
That was pretty cool.
We got some good brood going in there.
What is that? What is that brown stuff like right there?
Right here.
Yeah, that.
This is a pollen patty. We actually put that in there to feed them. So this is a new hive, and we just kind of wanted to give them something that they wouldn't have to go out. They're already acclimating themselves and figuring out their surroundings. And we've had some really bad weather, and we knew that when we put them in. So we've given them a pollen patty. And guys, they've already eaten like a whole lot. It used to be like a square. You can almost see the staining like right through here.
And the funny thing is it had paper underneath it, and they tear the paper off and take it out.
Mm-hmm.
Little garbage workers.
Yeah, you can actually see some of the paper right here.
Yeah.
Or they brought the paper out
Yep, you got it.
and tossed it outside. They clean their own house. So you can.
There we go. Easy as that to have a home edition.
So we're gonna put the patty back on top. We've actually got this whole cluster of bees up here. So we're gonna go and put them back down.
They're gonna discover it.
Yep.
They'll be like, oh, what's this? And it's gonna be like, oh, it's a home upgrade.
Pretty much. Yeah. Well, I don't think that the super was absolutely needed because the brood patterns were good, but she hadn't moved out to the side. But then this way, if they want to start moving their honey upwards and let that be the brood chamber at the bottom, that's pretty much what we're going for.
We're good. And step back a bit.
All
And
right.
if you don't mind, get the smokery.
Give me the smoker, Jill.
Just keep them a little bit calm. These guys are humming about.
They've been busy, guys. We were just saying it's kind of crazy. If you put your hand like right over this, you can almost feel like the breeze off of their wings, which is just so crazy, guys. And forgive me, I'm filming on my iPad. You guys can see my phone is back there, dead. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this. But guys, this has been a busy hive so far. This is our wild swarm, but again, we kind of just want to get in here and get eyes on them. All right, Joe's gonna be your cameraman, guys. They seem like they like the sugar syrup a lot more than the pollen patty. What we're gonna, Marker, you want to get in the bottom here and see if they've done anything?
What are you talking about? Let's go and try it.
So when you guys take this off, it's always good to take your tool and kind of pop the edge a little bit, just because they seal this with propolis. So we're gonna take that. We're not gonna lift it straight off. We're actually going to turn it a little bit to the side. And what that's gonna do is if there's any comb that's built down in between the two supers, it breaks it off and it makes it easier for us to pull it up. I'm just gonna take this. Here, see, that's why, you guys see this comb right here? That's why we split it, because that's actually built up into the bottom of this super. So that's why we twisted it to go ahead and break it, because then it's just gonna try to lift those up out with it.
Though.
Yeah, gently, don't, nice and easy. So it's heavy. Which is good. When the frames are heavy, it means there's either a lot of brood or they're already starting to get some honey in there. There's honey all in there. Look at that honey, guys. That's all honey.
It's dark honey.
That's all honey. Please don't sting me, guys. There's no brood in here, so I'm going to assume probably the queen's not on here.
Because they're all piling on top of each other.
Yeah, they're all piling on top of each other, so I'm just going to, slowly, and I'm just going to set it down like this, so I don't kind of look at anybody. Let's see what they got going on in here. They've got honey starting caps in here.
There's not much brood on this one.
There's no brood on this one. She might be up in the top chamber, because what we did wrong with this one, guys, is when we dumped these guys in here, these middle ones were left empty because we were putting things down in here to get the bees to go down in, and we didn't refill them for a little bit. So actually I feel like the queen stayed up in the top super and has made that her brood chamber. So, and this kind of rings true to that because there's honey and no brood down in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one back. I don't see her on this one. There's a lot of bees down here though, guys. I could be totally wrong. She could definitely be down in here. maybe laying brood on the outer edge, but usually they don't put brood on the outer edge, so to just wait and see, I guess. Nothing in here. Well, actually, guys, there's larvae in here. You can see it down in here, Joe, right?
Baby bees.
Where there's baby bees. You guys can see them. They haven't capped them yet, but there's larvae. Joe, if you want to zoom in down in here.
Where are they at?
Like up in this top chamber, like right around in here. Just get, here, I'll try to. There's larvae in here. They haven't capped them yet, so that means that the queen's been down in here and she's laid eggs, and there's eggs all in all of them, guys. Almost in every single one. So I'm gonna look to see if the queen's down here. I don't see her right off the bat. Slowly turning. We don't want to jostle anybody.
So a lot of activity on this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity. She might be down in here.
Down there, or there's a lot in here.
Yeah. If you want them to look at all that capped brood.
Yep.
Look at all of that.
They're doing their job.
They're doing good, guys. As much as I want to get eyes on her, I have a feeling she's down in here, and I really don't want to disturb her that much. If she's doing that good of a job, already populating, that's good.
Yeah, she's doing good work.
She's being good. She's being productive. No drone. I haven't spotted any drone larvae yet on this one. Whereas the other one, there's actually quite a bit of capped drone brood, which that's all right. There was worker brood too, because the worker brood is capped flat, whereas the drone brood is domed. We just did this one, right? We don't want to like mess up their spacing too much. I don't feel like, you know. We just did this one. And when you're pulling and replacing your frames, try to put them in the way that you pulled it out. So they're building. You can see the beeswax here, where the black is, and then you see all the color. That's where they're actually starting to build the comb. So on the other side, they've done a good job doing that. And there's a lot of bee bread on this side. All those different colors in the comb, that's all kinds of different pollen. And there's also honey around the bee bread, around the pollen in the cells. So these girls have been just busy little sisters. I don't see the queen. I see drones in here.
I wouldn't doubt if she's in the top.
Yeah, she very well might be in the top.
We took out the main ones. So let's put that one back.
Okay.
Let's put the top on.
Yep. You're gonna be just fine putting her in there. She's gonna probably be somewhere in here.
Look at those chambers. Wow, tons of honey. It's dripping out.
Because we broke that top home.
Look at that, Joe.
Look at all that.
Wow. That's abnormally formed comb, but that's okay. We'll leave it alone. We'll correct it later. And it honestly, the reason there's capped brood here and there's honey, Joe, if you look down in here, the honey's actually running, and there's so much brood in here. Oh my goodness, there's so much brood. This is such a good sign. And we'll pull that out.
Oh yeah, that's full of brood.
It's full of brood. So
that's not capped brood yet. This one.
There are eggs in every cell. Can you see the eggs? Like in these cells, they're like little tiny. They look like little pieces of rice.
Yeah.
Those are eggs. Over here, Joe, if you looked in these.
I doubt she's in the area then.
Yeah, she's definitely in the area. There's actually there's eggs down in there. They are. They look like little pieces of rice down in there. I don't see her on this side, but she very well. Okay, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm not trying to squish you. I didn't see her on this side either, but she could be doing her job somewhere.
She's in there somewhere.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and.
All those eggs. Be a little tricky to get down in there.
Well, it's because we've got that deformed comb. That's gonna make it a little tough, so I'm gonna just, hey guys, I'm sorry. Hi, bub, hi sis, she's just flapping away.
Can you feel the wing flap?
Oh yeah. It's because oh, look at the larvae in here. My goodness, you can see them so good.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You can see the larvae in there.
Look at that, honey.
Capped brood, honey, larvae, pollen in every bottom. I don't need to see much more of this, guys. I know she's doing her job. This is going to be a nice producing hive.
Don't want to forget that.
Yeah, don't want to forget that. No bees, no ants.
We're okay.
Nice and easy.
All right, guys, I'm gonna be done filming for.
All right, guys, that was pretty stinking awesome. And I am very, very excited at how well these guys are doing. And I'm sure you guys just heard Mark say it, that they are way more productive. I think they're already making more honey than the ones that came out of the package did. They're just super productive. You guys saw there's a lot of healthy brood. The queen's doing her job. She's laying a lot of eggs in that drawn comb. So it's a new hobby. We're new beaks. And for anybody out there, beaks are beekeepers, but we're new beaks, and it's just a lot of fun. If you're on a homestead and you want something new to tackle and challenge, go into beekeeping, because the more I learn about bees, the more I love it. And not to mention, bees on your property just help everything else. They help all of your flora, all of your fauna. I'm expecting my vegetables might be a little bit better than in past years, because we have bees that are out there pollinating them like crazy. So we're excited, guys, but that's gonna do it for this episode. I know it was kind of a short one, but which isn't bad. As long as we cover what we're supposed to cover, it's not bad. Thanks for being with us today, guys. I hope that you learned something. We really are having a blast with our hives this year. An absolute blast. It is just so much fun. So I hope you guys join me for the next one. If you found yourself liking this video, please go ahead and let us know. Drop us a like, leave us a comment, and subscribe. But until next time, guys, thanks.
And
bye.
don't forget to be with us.
Be with us.